Hi, I hope that I'm going live. This is one of my quick trending live videos, and also to say that the Christmas reviews will come up very shortly on YouTube of both films and entertainment shows that you can enjoy over Christmas, care of the Radio Times. Okay, now this is a great website that I want to share with you, and it's got everything that you really need if you want to track trends in the media industry. And this is it. It's called that hasn't worked very well at all. Let's do that. There we go. So as you can see, it's called Flix Patrol, and I will just go to that window and then I can go through it with you. So it up here, it shows you all platforms, United Kingdom or yesterday, or I can go to worldwide as well. It comes up with worldwide. Anyway, I'm only interested in the UK for the moment. So Netflix, top 10 in the United Kingdom on December the 2nd, 2001. Lost in Space, bit of sci-fi. Selling Sunset, which is great. I don't know if you've watched that. When Missing Turns to Murder, which is doing really well. It's got no other info about it here. Sonic the Hedgehog for kids, marvelous. And Mr. Bean, just about popular anywhere in the world. Then we come on to the top 10 movies. Sonic the Hedgehog is the most popular. Lots of people trying to keep their kids occupied. And the top 10 TV shows, Lost in Space, Selling Sunset. Well, this is overall up here. Disney Plus. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings is the number one movie. And Hawkeye is the top 10 TV show. Simpsons, Family Guy, Grey's Anatomy. No, this is my guilty pleasure, The Walking Dead, I'm afraid, because it's so well written, and it's the very last series ever, which is on at the moment. I actually get it on Amazon Prime, but it's just brilliant. I'm not normally a zombie TV show or movie person, but I just think the character development and the way the stories are told in The Walking Dead are just brilliant. Fear the Walking Dead, episode 6, series 2 is an absolute masterstroke in the kind of disjointed timeline, and the reveal at the end is just brilliant. Maybe I'll talk about that in some detail at some point. Okay, the Amazon top 10 in the UK. Now, was anybody else surprised by this? Top 10 movies, No Time to Die, already available to rent on Sky, and here it is in Amazon top 10. I'm surprised it didn't stay at the box office, but I think it was kind of on hold for so long that they wanted to hit it up at the box office, which they did very successfully. And then the moment it dipped, get it onto the rental market in the UK. Venom is very popular as well, and then Elf, The Grinch, Polar Express. Very cute. Not much of a surprise. The Suicide Squad, which I really enjoyed as well. There must be 2 Elf movies, maybe Elf 1 and Elf 2. iTunes. Very much some older films here. The Last Duel, The Grinch, Rocky, Star Trek Discovery, The Inbetweeners. That's all on iTunes. Google, No Time to Die. That's there. Venom, Suicide Squad, Paw Patrol the movie, Shang-Chi, F9, The Grinch, Quiet Place, Star Trek Discovery, Mr. Bean, Rick of Morty, Game of Thrones. I think eventually you have to just decide what streamer, watch video on demand service gives you the most variety, because they're very similar, aren't they? Okay, Amazon Prime. Wheel of Time, I'll be reviewing that. That's Rosamund Pike, another fantasy drama in the kind of Game of Thrones area. Beautiful effects, interesting to discuss the storyline and the way the characters interact there, and whether it would ever take on the mantle of Game of Thrones. Clarkson Farm, which is, of course, Dear Jeremy, running his farm, his actual farm, and the young lad who I think he's only about 22 or 23, who works with him, who's become a real star. Hannah, I thought the first series was very good. This is about a wildling child brought up she was kind of part of almost like a chimera project where people took young women away from their families, some from Eastern Europe, and parallels with the kind of trafficking, the human trafficking that goes on, turn them into soldiers and then kind of unleash them on the world. But Hannah was taken back by her father and taken to the woods because she was on the run from the people who had trained her. But of course she was trained, and she then is on a mission to release the other girls that were in with her. Series 1 was good. Series 2, I thought, lost it a bit, and I've watched a couple of series of 3. The Grand Tour, as ever, they're at number 4. The Marksman, Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels, and then we start getting back into other stuff. Amazon Prime, The Marksman, Wheel of Time, Clarkson's Farm, yeah, all as you'd expect there, given what I've just read out about the top 10 overall. And then top 10 movies, Shang-Chi, Home Alone's in there. Top 10 movies on iTunes. Let's just see if I can get the top 10 books. Just make sure that's gone to... don't want to give a gift. No, thanks. Yes, I can see that. You can see that. So these are the top 10 books, regardless of whether they're fiction or non-fiction. Guinness World Records, 2002, at number 1. This is according to trade sales. Fully revised and updated. We all love the Guinness World Records, don't we? Well, I do. I was going to do a job for them, but didn't come to anything because of COVID. But it's a great book, and I think everybody's fascinated with it. I know my girls are. 12 and a Half, a business book from Gary Vaynerchuk. Anybody that's seen him, he's toned down his language a little bit, but he's very active on social media, particularly LinkedIn. And this is his book about how to be active on social media. The Man Who Died Twice, that's a Richard Osmond book. A glorious reading feast awaits in a crime novel. Okie dokie. And interestingly, he's got another one here, The Thursday Murder Club. So 2 in the top 10. Well done, Richard. Host of Pointless, of course, which I've directed a couple of times. Windswept and interesting. An autobiography, his first full-length autobiography. I will be reading that. Maybe somebody will buy it for me for Christmas. Diddly Squat, to go with Jeremy and his Netflix film, his Amazon show about his farm, and that's the book behind it. Thursday Murder Club, and Away, the lovely Bob Mortimer, and his autobiography. The Storyteller by Dave Grohl, who's a lovely bloke, and for ages he's had the desire to write this book, and now he's written it. Go Tell the Bees That I'm Gone, from the author of the Outlander series. Interesting, Diana Gabaldon. I'm sure I've pronounced that wrong, but anyway. Yes, interesting book. A American historic drama. And then, of course, the wonderful Miriam Margolyes. Is that how you always pronounce her name? I can never pronounce her name. My dyslexia is coming out because I can't even read it. Okay, so are there any trends in there? Again, I think it's really hard to spot trends at Christmas. There is a lot of sci-fi knocking about. Maybe that's because there's a lot of people working from home watching their guilty pleasures during the day. those lunchtime breaks. Talking of which, I'm just about to go and watch the first practice of the first Saudi Arabian Grand Prix in Jeddah. And I can't wait for Sunday and see if Lewis managed to hold off the challenge to his world championship, which is interesting. Okay, so that's it. But as I say, I don't think there's any real trends there that I could put my hand on, my finger on immediately. I do think that if you kind of think about it, because of the Squid Games and all the rest of it, that Asian drama is really coming to the fore. And I think it's not reflected in any of these, but I think people are talking about it. And they're much more kind of what I call breakout hits. And I do like the fact that Stranger is doing very well. And I would love to talk at length about the different directing styles of Squid Games and Stranger, because I think Stranger is much more authentically South Korean in its directing style, and Squid Games is much more kind of action American in its directing style. And that's it. And if anybody is following my daily boot up, do question some of the things I say. I've been saying for ages, almost deliberately, the 4 pillars of my storytelling. And then I usually say something like, let me just go full screen again. So when I talk about the 4 pillars, I normally get my fingers out and I go, orphan, warrior, hero. Then I'll mention the ticking clock. Well, that's 4 there. Or I'll clump the 3, orphan, warrior, hero, together. Then I'll mention the ticking clock, which is 2. Then I'll talk about casting. And nobody said to me, hang on, Jonathan, your maths has gone up the spout. Well, I do clump orphan, warrior, hero together because it's the hero's journey. So that's 1 pillar. The second one is the ticking clock. That's the second pillar. The third one is the casting, which is all important. And then the fourth one, of course, I'm a director, are the visuals. The visuals are super important. So they're the 4 pillars of storytelling. And I have touched on all of those in the daily boot up. And particularly the visual side of it, because sometimes we forget that television, vlogging, anything is a visual medium. We don't need an awful lot of words to describe what we're doing. We just need a lot of really great visuals. And in one of my daily boot ups, I talk about the, that you see, a dirty shower door, which my wife and I really get annoyed about because we have limescale problems here in Cambridge. And with one swoosh, the cleaner gets all the way through the limescale and it's a sparkling door this side and it's still dirty here. Well, that's visual storytelling, because it's creating a ticking clock in me saying, Jonathan, this is what you need. This is what you need to get your shower door back to its pristine level, or the grease stuck on the pan with that baby surfing on that sponge as it cleans it. Just one, and it's all gone. I don't know that product exists. I wish it did, but it creates that anxiety in me to go out and buy it, because that visual of the half clean, half dirty with one swipe is the thing that creates the ticking clock. And it's about how we do that in our social media posts, and it's about how we do that, in a YouTube thumbnail. All of those things that say you must watch this. You're going to get some questions answered. You're going to be entertained. You're going to find the answer. Let's not talk about all the get rich quick scams that are on the internet, but all of those things. Visual medium. A boy in Ray-Bans standing next to a Mercedes outside a beautiful condo somewhere in Florida. It's that visual image, and everybody's meant to say, I want that, and you sign up to their course. Marvelous. Okay, enough of me rabbiting on. Korean drama is still very popular, and I think, to be honest, the kind of who done it or why done it or why are they doing it is still very popular. We like those dramas where the question's posed. So interesting. All right, enough now. I'm off to watch the Grand Prix practice. Thanks a lot. Bye.